Hi, friends. Welcome to What You Don't See, the podcast. In today's episode, we will be talking about a very serious subject, gun violence. Bam, bam.
Guns in general.
Guns in general.
Not necessarily just violence. We are going to touch on violence, but just guns in general. Because we live in Texas, and everybody in Texas
has a gun.
Has guns. You know, like my husband has guns. You have guns.
My
you
husband,
have a gun.
yeah.
You have a gun. So all of us are gun owners basically, which is crazy because like I won't touch them, but like we have them in our house.
Right. Me too. What do you guys think about like owning them and having them and
I believe that yes, we should have a gun, right? We should have a gun, but I don't see a use of a gun that's going to kill a lot of people.
An automatic rifle.
Why are they even selling those?
I know.
Yes, I believe in.
Like for what reason?
Yeah, because those are other. Once you get something that's going to throw more than certain amount, 8 rounds, there's intention for something else, right? You're not going to shoot a deer with an AR.
Yeah.
So
those are meant. Like those are weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, the war zone
like that's
weapons.
like war.
That should have been for war.
Yeah,
exactly. Unfortunately, kids are buying them and doing all these stupid shits and ruining their life, right? Because they have anger issues.
Look at we started talking about this because of the shooting in Georgia.
Yeah.
Right? So I was telling you, they were talking today on the news that the parents and the FBI already knew that this kid had issues. And the parents had been talked to by the police to make sure, because they had guns in the home, to make sure that the guns were kept away from the child because the child was an endangerment. And I don't know how he got the guns, but they obviously didn't do their job.
The parents probably did not implement proper safeguards so that he did not have access to the guns, clearly. And then he killed 4 people and injured plenty of more people.
Kids
who are not, their brains are not developed.
Kids.
Killed kids, but the shooter was a kid themselves, and kids
14.
14 is the most confusing, weird time
That's
for a
8th
little
grade.
boy. You know what I mean?
That's 8th grade.
That's 8th grade.
It's so sad.
It's
he ruined his life. Is he alive, the 14-year-old?
He's alive, yeah. And he ruined other people's lives.
And they're trying him as an adult.
Yeah, the parents, I do think, they need to set a precedent that parents need to implement things so that their kids don't have access to this, because then kids accidentally kill themselves or kill each other. Like it happens all the time.
Look at the one in McAllen.
Yeah. Just to show off, like, oh, look, my dad has a gun.
There was a gun on the table. The kids in McAllen, their gun was on the table. One of them picked it up and it went off and it shot one of the kids.
Oh, no, I didn't
It was on the
know
news.
that happened.
Really? And okay, as a parent, you kind of know when your child has issues because you live with this kid, right? You know, my son, when he broke up, when he had his first girlfriend and he went through the whole little breakup, the heartbreak, I was on suicidal watch. I felt like I had to be watching him a little extra. The first one, not the second one. The second one doesn't. He doesn't. I don't know. He has any empathy, right? But no, he does. But the first one, he was little, and I felt like I had to be on suicidal watch. When your kids have issues, you kind of see it when they're angry. Now you never in your right mind are you gonna think my son's gonna go shoot somebody, but you kind of do see that your kids have issues, and why have a gun laying out? When my son was going through his depression, he was maybe 13. I hit everything that could potentially hurt him. I mean, he wasn't dying saying he was suicidal, but in my head, I overthink everything, right, when it comes to that.
Well, because as the parent, you are in the best position to know what's going on with your child. You are in the best position to be able to control what they have access to. And I think that maybe the gun mindset in Texas has maybe gone a little bit too far, where it's they want guns everywhere, and it's everybody thinks that gun control equals I don't have a gun anymore. That's not what
That's
gun
not what it
control
is.
is. Gun control is keeping them in the hands of people who are mentally stable and keeping them out of the hands of people
that are
who
not
are not
mentally stable. Exactly.
And so people like think like, oh, gun control, they're going to take my guns. No, that's not what that means.
Yeah.
And like we need to like educate what gun control is.
And there should be a mental health
Everybody
test
should
before
exactly.
getting
I was
it.
just about to say that there should be a requirement where you do.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody should be allowed to buy a
No.
gun.
No,
Not everybody.
Not
I think-
everybody should have access to a gun.
Especially nowadays, a lot of people are very unstable, and
Yeah.
I mean, the last person you want with a gun is someone going through depression, going through anxiety, going through
or have
some
sort of,
mind-altering
like,
experience.
some sort of
I
personality
think
disorder.
I think it's difficult though to like a mental test. Anybody can cheat.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Do you hate anybody?
How do you even exactly?
Like,
how do you even
Well,
create
if you've
control?
been diagnosed by a doctor, I don't know. How,
Yeah.
you know, like
It's like my dad. This is off the gun subject, but he was 87 when Bert Ogden sold him a car. Right? You see this viejito walking, hardly being able to see, and so when you see somebody, I mean, yes, you can't tell somebody. Some people just hide it so well, but maybe when you do a test and the doctor's testing you, you're gonna see some of those signs. Now you just go to academy and you leave with a gun. It takes 10 minutes to do the
I know.
Background
They
check.
sell them at
Background
Academy?
check.
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
still
they
get
do.
a background? Do you get a background check?
Yeah, you get a background
Do you get a
check.
background check?
Yes.
Yeah,
do.
felons can't own guns, but they have access to guns because their friend buys a gun and then they give it. You know, they sell it to the felon. You know, there's just so.
I
there's
feel
just so
like
many
if
easy
you
ways.
really want to get access to a gun,
gonna
especially
get
here
it.
in Texas, you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
Like it's so easy to
It's-
get it. Like you say, we all have guns here.
Yeah.
Just the four of us. Imagine everybody else out there. We don't have children, but you
Yeah.
know, I feel that you are way more cautious when it comes. Do you keep it in a safe?
Yeah,
like
it's in a
what do
safe,
you?
and nobody can open it but me or Marty.
It's like a thumbprint
It's
sort
a-
of. Yeah, that's what we have
It's a
to.
safe and a code, and only
Yeah.
me and Marty.
Yeah.
I don't keep it in a safe, but it's hidden. And then I have the ammo somewhere else.
Yeah, I have the ammo separate
Yeah.
from the gun, and
And I don't see any signs of craziness in Diego that he would grab it and
No,
do
Diego's
something.
Diego's so normal.
But but I still keep it away.
Right.
I
yeah,
still put
still,
it.
you just
Yes.
don't want any accidents or anything.
Yes, because
to
you
happen.
you just never know.
yeah.
I got a gun when I went through with my ex.
That's
You know,
smart.
being,
For protection?
being kidnapped and
Yeah.
going missing for 2 days and all that other stuff. Now, I mean, if you ever, I have a gun.
Yeah. is your ex still alive? Off topic.
I'm just
Off
curious.
topic. So he's still
I'm
out
just
there.
curious.
I haven't buried him yet. No.
So did you guys take any lessons? Like, so
Yes,
okay, so
yes.
you guys are pro having guns, right? Like,
you
yes,
take a class.
I'm not a pro. I had a friend of mine. Her husband's the one that took me.
No. Like you're pro
no,
gun.
you pro gun, like
Oh yes.
I'm not a pro.
not a pro, yeah, not a pro at shooting, yeah, but you're pro gun, like you're okay with you're okay with the right to bear arms.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yes.
100%,
I think
yeah.
yes. Now there's a limit to that.
Yeah.
Anything that's gonna kill, anything that's gonna have more than 5-8 rounds.
Automatic weapon.
What do you need
Automatic-
that for?
Yes.
Yeah.
What does anybody?
What are you trying to do
does
with that?
any normal
Exactly.
Civilian
Why do you
that?
need a whole room full of guns? Maybe there should just be a limit of 2 guns per person, right? A shotgun and a pistol. I
Unless
don't know.
you're a hunter. Because hunters, they
Yeah.
have many guns.
Yes, but yes, I am pro. Like,
But you're not.
But
a
I'm
pro.
You're not a
pro.
pro. All right. Take
But
me
you
shooting.
do.
Yeah.
You can take a course.
Yeah,
When
so
when
what's
you
the
get
process?
your license, you
can
take a
become a
course.
pro.
It's like 2-3 days. They teach you the laws about a gun ownership. They take you to a range so that you can learn how to shoot. You know what I mean? And then you take your course, and then you get your gun license. So yeah, there's a right process to do it, and that's what everybody should
Do
technically
it.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just difficult to control a gun, like a gun's whereabouts. You
Well,
know?
look at the gun shows.
because
Yeah.
what you might get you double what you paid for the gun to sell it to a felon, right? Because they're willing to pay for it, and so now you're an arms dealer or whatever. You know what I mean? Like there's big money.
An arms dealer.
Always making a business.
Yeah. And now you're an arms dealer.
I mean, like some people, like they make a business out of selling like weaponry because the bad people who shouldn't have it are willing to pay double, triple, whatever for these things. So now people are always looking to make a profit. So I don't know. I don't know how if I'm pro Second Amendment. I don't know. I mean, we have guns because they're legal. Do I think everybody should have one? I don't know.
Not everybody should
I don't
have
think
one.
everybody should
Not
have
everybody.
one. I do, but I do believe in the right that you should have one because because let me give you an example. For example, in Mexico, nobody's allowed to have guns, but the cartel has guns.
Yeah.
Right.
The military has guns. The government has guns. So what do you have to protect yourself? Freaking machete, palos, escobas. So think
you seen the machetes lately?
I think about that. Like when it comes to defending yourself, like from a gang member, from something like you're a woman,
With
know.
a gun?
Yeah.
Without a gun?
Yeah, without a gun. That's what I'm saying.
I have
like,
a lot of mixed feelings on it because when that amendment was created, there was no such thing as automatic rifles.
Yes,
you know
that's
what I mean?
true.
Like,
They need to tweak it.
yeah.
So like when that right was created, we
weren't in the despair that we are today.
Right. And like the guns, I'm not a gun expert, but I know that they weren't as advanced as they are now. Now these guns, like they can take out,
Put a little powder in.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
somebody.
if everybody had a gun from way back then, okay, fine, y'all can have the gun.
and also they wanted it to protect themselves from what?
From the government in a lot of ways because they were fleeing.
So for example, right now in Australia, you can go to jail from posting something negative on Facebook. You know what I mean?
The censorship is just
censorship.
insane,
Yeah. So that's why people are like, hey,
Or
but
in
if you had a gun,
Yeah.
Did you hear where he's going to execute 20?
Oh my God, yes,
Because they didn't solve the problem.
because they didn't solve the weather problem.
Who?
Yeah,
Where? What?
a flood.
In China.
Oh.
No, Korea.
No, Korea.
Yeah. North Korea.
He's gonna
Yeah, not
execute
China,
20
Korea.
leaders because there was
A
bad
drought.
weather.
It wasn't a drought.
And
It was a
they
flood.
didn't do anything to fix their streets or their
my
cities to save the people because hundreds of people got
Hundreds
hurt.
of people died.
Hundreds of
and
people
got
died.
Imagine the
hurt,
streets
yeah.
of Edinburgh.
Imagine the streets are
imagine?
here, dude.
Our city council will be gone.
Don't know. Yeah,
But
so
yeah, no, like
that's
when
the examples that I have. Like but yes, you don't need a freaking AK
No,
to,
you don't.
you know.
Yeah, like again,
I
let's
agree
go back
with
to
you
the
on
time
that.
when these rights were created. Things were so much different. The political landscape
Yeah,
was
of
different.
course.
Weapons were different. Okay. There needs to be evolution of certain rights as there has been evolution of people and
right.
society and weaponry, right? Like I don't think people think about
Yeah.
that. So like I don't know if people should have automatic weapons. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Like I said, I have a lot of mixed feelings on it because it's like, well, if they're legal, I might as well have one to protect myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what it feels
That's
like.
what
That's what it feels like. Well, it's like
like.
if other people have it, well, then I need it too.
Yeah.
Even though I don't believe everybody should have
Exactly.
one.
Like
but
we
you know,
talked about-
your neighbor might have one.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
So-
okay, and that's the mindset where now everybody has all of
one,
these
yeah.
horrible weapons.
Yeah.
But yes, I don't think everybody should have one.
Don't mess with Texas.
You need to get evaluated. You need to go to a doctor. You need to be over 21, not 18. There's
Not
no
18,
need
definitely.
for an 18-year-old to
No
have a
What are
gun.
you gonna like?
Not even 21.
I would think 25.
Yes.
Yes,
Kinda like
even
your
older than
insurance.
21.
Yeah.
Kind of like yes.
Yeah, you can't get insurance for a kid because they don't want to sell you insurance.
Yeah.
Right? Because they increase it super high, or you can't get a kid on insurance.
Yeah. So
You can't buy alcohol until you're 21, but you can buy a gun at 18.
yeah, exactly. So it's like with my kids with tattoos. They're not allowed to get tattoos until they're a certain age. Why? Because I want to make sure they love that tattoo.
Yeah.
So same thing with guns. They can't. Nope. I can't see my 20-year-old right now going to go buy a gun.
Yeah, no.
It's
Why?
scary to think
It's
about,
scary.
right?
Yeah, it's scary to even think about a child next to a gun. Like no matter if it's in
Yes.
a, like to me, it's like it's freaky. Even Albert that has his guns away and hidden. When my nieces go over, I'm like you're not going into that room, like
Yeah.
whatsoever. That's like don't go in there.
Yep.
Like that's Theo stuff. Don't touch. Like, because it's
Even
scary.
in England, they're not allowed to have guns because I was just there and they're not allowed to have
England
guns.
is
In
not
England,
allowed?
they're not allowed to have guns.
But then you see like some of the safest places, such as like Switzerland, you know, they don't own any guns either there, right? Or do they? Or is that the place where everybody has one and that's why nobody messes with them? No, right?
They don't.
Have.
And like you don't see school shootings over there in England.
Well, that's
or
another thing. I think the
Switzerland.
main why we started speaking about this was because of the school shooting
I
that
mean,
just
school shootings
happened.
are just the norm now.
How in the
So
world?
scary.
Yes.
Scary.
I remember.
It makes you not want to have kids.
It makes you not want to send them to school.
Yeah. It makes homeschooling a
More
great
appealing.
business. A
More
great business.
appealing.
Yeah, it makes homeschooling a great business. I've always wondered why there's not enough homeschool teachers. That's like a
And
good
now,
business.
like, just to get into
That's
certain high schools, you have to go through like metal detectors
yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
because it's
clear backpacks for
I would
4-year-olds.
I would
know.
rather
For
have
4-year-olds, my little niece takes her clear backpack.
Aw.
Yes, and you because you know
Yeah.
why they're taking clear backpacks, and
Yeah.
you're concerned like
So that
they're
they're
not
not
even my
hiding
kids, and
things.
just dropping them off. I'm like, fuck, like attachment issues or something
Yeah.
because it's so scary.
It is scary.
What were you saying, Sarah?
I don't remember.
She's still hungry. She's hungry.
I am hungry.
That's scary though. That like even 4-year-olds like clear backpacks.
Yeah.
I think that started when I was in like middle school, high school, like mesh.
But mine don't have clear backpacks.
No,
No. They're in
mine
they're
goes
in
to
junior high.
Vanguard.
We had to have
You too?
clear or
Yeah.
mesh.
But I
Mesh,
am all for
Diego.
putting detectors at the front
Yes,
doors.
metal detectors, 100%.
And making sure that, the
Kids are
fences
safe.
are higher so that people can't be jumping over them and that they've got barbed wire. You know what I mean? I'm all for
Protection, protect
protecting
the
the kids as
children.
much
What do y'all
100%.
think? This is a big debate right now. Should teachers have guns to protect the students?
Hi, that's a
that can get
It can get
that's-
can
really
get so bad.
messy
It can
because
get
when
so
the
ugly.
police come in, there's everybody's shooting at each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
not only that. What if
A kid gets it.
kid gets
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
So a lot of like very, 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 very pro guns rights activists are like, every teacher should have a gun so that they can
No.
protect their classroom and everybody needs to be armed.
I
but-
think there should be other ways to secure the classrooms. I've seen there's like foldable things that like the teachers just pull out of the corner and then it creates like a barrier that protects kids against firearms. So there's other ways that have been
God.
invented
It's sad
because
that
of
we
that.
have to do that.
know.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Like, we need to like control the situation. I think rather than we're laughing because there's a fly that's been flying around bothering us
for the past 3
forever.
episodes.
it's a bee or a fly.
It's a fly.
It's a fly.
It's a fly.
It's a fly.
Huge fly.
Huge
I need a gun so I can shoot this fly.
I need a gun to shoot this
my
light.
Guys,
Anyway,
I've been trying. I've been trying.
anyway, I don't think that's a good solution. I don't think
The what?
the teachers should be armed.
No.
Oh no, I don't think so.
Plus,
either.
if I was a teacher, I'd be like, this is scary.
Plus, it's
you know?
scary just to like imagine going to school and I have to go armed because who knows who might come and attack the kids. Like
Yeah.
the fact that we got to this point in life where children are killing children, and I mean, how do you even like filter that out?
At this point, how do you control
How do you
it?
control it? Yeah. So if there's
It's
any
so
experts
bad.
out there in the subject, we would really want to know
Your
what
opinion.
Yeah, your opinion or what
It's
steps
It is a major
parents
issue.
can take, teachers can take, and overall everybody when it comes to being safe regarding
Yeah.
guns. Because we all want them and we all have them to protect ourselves, but I mean, like you said, it's
And know if
You
your
never
kid
know.
is having an issue.
Yeah.
Bring
Know if
it
your kid-
forward.
yes.
Like there was an issue with a student in McAllen that it was all over Facebook that the parents were very concerned. Like parents were very concerned about sending their kids to school because there were the negative
I
talk.
heard about that. Yes.
And that they had posted that they were working on it, that McAllen ISD was, looking into it and they were trying to do something with it. But it's important to pay attention
Yeah.
and to say if you see something.
If you see something, yes.
Now, there should be some programs that give free services, because in order for, okay, let's say your kid's acting up, right? He's acting up, he's on drugs, you don't know what to do, you don't have the funds to send him to therapy. The only way you could get him some 3 days help is you go to the judge, They give you you let them know what's going on. They give you orders to take them in. They pick them up. They send them to Tropical for 3 days only. After that, the kid's back with you, and you don't know what else to do. There should be some sort of help, because I went through it with my dad. My dad was going through all these mental health issues. There was no help. There was no
My
help.
sister works at Tropical actually, and she sees like the worst of the worst kids. She's like, I just got a client who is 6 years old. Like, imagine 6 years old being the worst of the worst,
Already
mentally unstable. So yeah, I mean, from the things that I hear that she comments here and there, because they're not supposed to, say much. It's bad.
Yes, and
it's bad here.
if you can't pay for the program, they send them back home in 3 days.
Yeah.
So in order for you to get help for your loved one, you need to have the funds to pay for rehab. But what if you don't have the funds? And these kids are, the easiest way to do is send them back to school.
Yeah, and what if you don't have the funds? What if you're working all day? What if you're so worried on your survival that you don't
Mental
have
health falls on
time
the back
for that?
burner.
Yeah.
because you're working
So
12-hour shifts.
what is there that we can do to help these kids? If you know of any program, let us know. If you want to be a guest,
There is a you can go to the judge and they'll put them into an insane asylum.
but
But is
only
there
for 3 days.
No, well, I got one for until the doctor released him because they had to put him on medication. My ex-husband, I put him through there because he had a breakdown, and his parents, and he wouldn't talk to his parents. And when I talked to his parents, they said that her husband had the same sickness, the bipolar, and that he needed to get into a hospital to get medication.
Yeah.
That they had tried to put him in medication once, but that he had left and he wouldn't accept it. So I had him picked up and taken to the asylum here in Harlingen.
Oh, I thought it was only 3 days.
Because
that's what they told me when I
put him
called
in
it. Okay.
for
Oh, I know which one you're talking
as
about.
long as
In Harlingen.
as long as the doctor kept him in there
Really?
for treatment. So he was in there for 3 weeks or something.
I know it's on Rangerville Road. Yes,
Yeah.
I know exactly where that is.
We
So
need to
there
bring
are-
a judge.
There are possibilities.
Yeah,
but
talk
you have
we
to
need
get
to
a
bring
judge.
in Judge Joanne because the probate judge hears all of that. What is it called?
Oh, I love Joanne.
Yeah. She's the one who hears, like, okay, are they released or not? You know what I mean?
Juvenile?
No, it's not juvenile. Joanne Garcia.
Yeah, the
She-
probate.
The
she's
probate judge.
yeah.
So the probate judges are the ones who hear the, I don't know if they're called insanity cases or I forgot the name of the
didn't know
cases,
that.
but
I didn't know
yeah, they have to hear those cases, and that's the judge who decides, okay, no, they need to stay in or we're going to release.
We need to bring Joanne in.
We
Yeah, we need to
should.
bring-
We'll reach out to her.
We need to bring-
Get you educated by
Yes.
somebody who knows.
And find
Yeah.
help for your loved one if they're going through it, because it's tough.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, because in order for you to be doing something like that, I mean, you must be going through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of it is like not even like a product of your circumstances. You were just born bipolar or schizophrenic
Yeah.
or whatever. You know what I mean?
Or
And,
your
like,
mom used to do drugs. So it's,
Oh, and then now while she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Schizophrenic is real.
Yeah.
schizophrenia
yeah.
is so real.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like sometimes it's not even like actual trauma that you lived through. It's like you were just, with that personality disorder. So
So now we're really off topic.
Yeah. Yes.
well, I mean, mental health and gun control is
same
all
thing.
in the same. So yeah, gun control is a very hot topic right now. So if you have thoughts, share them with us. We're always open to hearing other perspectives and ideas. So we hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.